wasn't much to last year with this. I mean, we were just excited to come out here and play a really good team and play well and get a win.
That's a really good football team, and you don't come out and play your best game against the guys that they have and the coaches that they have, it's going to look like that.
We wanted some payback. We tried not to think too much about last year, but we knew we could match up with them, and more than that.
You know, they beat us in the NFC Championship, and, you know, we wanted to get back. But at the end of the day, it's just football. You know, we talking trash, having fun, and, you know, just came out here and got a win.
I had full confidence that we would have this type of game from the jump. You know, we got a quarterback, so it made it a lot easier this time.
Brock Purdy balled out with 4 touchdowns in his first time at Lincoln Financial Field since his elbow injury in the NFC Championship.
That was this year, late in January, but was it going to be the revenge game or anything like that? No. For me, it was Week 13. We needed this game.
The defense also stepped up despite losing linebacker Dre Greenlaw in the third quarter. Greenlaw was ejected after a confrontation with a member of the Eagles security staff.
Dre has been really the enforcer for this defense since we got here in 19, and that's what makes him who he is, so we're not going to knock him for being that.
Tried my hardest not to lose my mind. Hopefully I didn't embarrass myself too bad. But yeah, once I didn't get to see it all from where I'm at, but when I start hearing people explain it to me and stuff, and I just can't believe someone not involved in a football game can taunt our players like that and put their hands in our guy's face. And from what I was told, Dre did it back to him, and I was told that he kind of mashed him in the face a little bit, so he got ejected. But it was a very frustrating play. I got to watch it to have a true opinion on it, but I loved how we rallied after it.
Let's go back to Lincoln Financial Field where Cam Inman is standing by. And, hey, we all saw it today. I mean, we're coming out of a Deebo Samuel touchdown on the highlights. In the words of Jack Buck, I can't believe what I just saw. What say you? It was right in front of you.
I don't think I've ever seen the 49ers score 6 consecutive touchdown drives. They did it after their first 2 lousy drives where they went 3 and out. It was not starting well. Brock Purdy's getting sacked again by Hassan Reddick. You're like, oh boy, this is not good. And then they went on their touchdown spree. And, you know, their first touchdown drive, they converted a couple of third down plays. They just really had to work their way down the field. It goes down as an 85-yard drive, but like they even got backed up to the 10. So it was a 90-yard drive. Then they came back with a 90-yard drive. And it was a 49er offense that I think we all expected to see here in the NFC Championship game. And then they lost their quarterback to an elbow injury. And then that whole game went haywire, right? So I think today was like much more representative of the 49er offense that we've seen under a healthy Brock Purdy ever since he took over a year ago.
It looked like, at least certainly at the beginning, like they took a couple of punches to the face and were just stunned. I don't know what happened as to why they were able to stop Philly's sluggo, slant and go to Brown that was just gouging these guys in the first quarter to all of a sudden, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, it belonged to the red and gold.
I mean, it really did. The defense played out of their mind. Those first 2 drives, keeping them to like field goals, right? Rather, so the hole wasn't too big. It was a 6-0 harmless deficit. Then you're right. It's like, well, Jalen Hurts is supposed to be the MVP candidate, right? And it's like, you got A.J. Brown he was in the MVP consideration too. And it's like, no, they really didn't get going. And I think it was a credit to how everybody was playing on that defense. And Nick Bosa was really good after the game, just very eloquently stating how unselfish this team is. Doesn't matter who gets credit. You hear that all the time, but I think it really showed in their play today because there was adversity throughout that game. You know, I mean, we can get to talking about the fight on the sideline because at that point, you're thinking that could be a big turning point of the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here's what else did it for me. They scored before the half, got the ball to start the second half, and then they scored again.
Yeah, and you know, that's that whole philosophy of we want the ball to score at the end of the half and then we get it at the start of the half. That's a huge swing. Like Shanahan has some kind of stat where it's like the probability of winning jumps up if you have that sequence. Now, here's the thing, Vern. All right, and I asked Deebo this afterward because the Eagles played, I think, 92, 95 snaps defensively a week ago here against the Bills. They're going to be tired. And those first 2 scoring drives, those 90-yard drives, they're like body blows, right? I mean, Philly wanted to embrace the Rocky underdog thing, right? Because they were 3-point underdogs here at home. Well, Rocky was on the ropes. He was like, they were like, you could just see that defense was just tailing off really fast. And the Niners were going full throttle.
He would never admit this on camera, ever. He's kind of, gee golly shocked, kind of flat lines. But do you think in any way, after a 319, 4-touchdown, no turnover, high passer rating again performance by Brock Purdy, that he feels just a little bit vindicated on that plane flight back?
Oh, I think definitely, you know, and he took the whole great approach of this wasn't about redemption. This wasn't about, I told you this is what we could have done, because he had to have that mind. There was nothing to gain by looking back on last year. No, I mean, if I got sacked by Hassan Reddick on this, like, you know, second play of the game, I'd be freaking out. Oh no, here we go again. But Brock is so composed and he's just so level-headed and thoughtful. But when he makes a good play, he gets excited, and that generates so much momentum. It's really a joy to watch. I mean, it's a very fun offense to watch because he gets everybody involved. And I think that's the beautiful part of that team is there's so many good players, and they all they clicked at the right time today when they really needed to, because now they're one game back in the race for the number 1 seed so that they don't have to come back here to Philly. The Eagles have a really hard schedule, and I don't think that they look like a championship team. I mean, the 49ers showed that drive after drive after drive. You know, the only time, Vern, I'll tell you this, after that Dre Greenlaw ejection, right, then kind of predictably the Eagles cash in and get a touchdown. Well, this place went bananas. It was, the crowd was roaring. Like, a lot of times in the press box, we have fans that are sitting in front of us. These Eagle fans, a couple of drunk guys, just starts pounding on this glass, right? The door is spread, like the glass door is spread wide open. Like, this guy's ready to come through the door. And Matt Mayock and I are looking at each other. We're like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? You can't do this. And, like, you know, nobody came to kick the guy out because it's Philly. It's how they're fans. They're passionate, right? And I understand. The Niners don't want to come back here and have to deal with that. They want the Eagles on their turf late January, last weekend in January, the NFC Championship game.
A++ performance, Cam. I'm handing out the first grade. Thanks so much.
A++, that's a Jim Harbaugh'ism, right? They're off to the college football playoffs. A++, Vern. Good to see you.